united, we set sail from King's March and head for Oriath. But as we approached, the unthinkable took place. We were too late. My worst fears have come to pass. The world is consumed by madness once more. Our last hope for refuge is the ziggurat of Exile. Perhaps Doryani's preparations will shield us while we plan our next move. It appears Doryani truly does have a plan for every contingency.
A man with a plan. Hello YouTube. Welcome back. Welcome back to Path of Exile 2.
Finally, hard to imagine, isn't it? What a bloody state the world is in. I'm here if you need anything. Keep your chisel sharp.
A sleep near indistinguishable from death. Let's hope Doryani has a way to wake him.
This is a bit of a pickle we've got ourselves into.
Met.
Living like rats in a cellar. Having to put the world back together like pieces of a jigsaw. Which is actually not a bad thing, because I love me a jigsaw.
We're alive. That's a small consolation. Rayclast has been devastated, and the influence of the beast lingers on. As we feared, the beast's corruption holds the hooded one in thrall. Nothing we do can wake him.
If the beast can put a god to sleep, then what hope have we? We cannot wield the weapon.
The situation is grim, but science can be rediscovered. We must seek further knowledge of the ancients for ourselves. Perhaps with it, we can engineer a solution to our situation.
I'm hoping you've some thoughts on how to do that.
I have already been working on a plan. This ziggurat was built over what my ancestors called ley lines, ancient underground structures, which I believe may span the entire continent. The machine you see here, I call it a waygate. Using the ley lines, the waygate can take us anywhere they reach. Approach the waygate. Good. The ley line below is resonating correctly.
Ooh,
Didn't
hello.
expect that. And going by your face, I'm guessing you didn't either.
Incredible. That tower, it must have reacted to the waygate's energy.
You'll have to break it down for me. Should we be pleased or concerned?
For now, we simply need to reach the tower. But first, we must test the waygate. Take this waystone, mark your desired coordinates on it, place it in the waygate. Let us see what it can do.
As you can see, this is going to be our first set of maps, and I'll break them down. There's going to be a lot of lore and a lot of narrative exposition in this first one, so there may not be that much speaking from me. I'll obviously let the NPCs describe everything that's going on as much as possible, and I'll fill in the gaps and let you guys know exactly what my plans are for this stage of my game coverage. So at the moment we're going to do Doryani's first map. We'll stick the waystone in the map device and we'll hit this particular zone. Now each zone will have certain things inside it, mostly mobs, and there will be at least one boss at the end. Waystones can be white, they can be blue, and they can be yellow. They can, the blue and yellow ones can have all sorts of different pluses and negatives, depending on whether you're a mob or a player. Usually the yellow ones give an awful lot of pluses to the mobs, but the pluses for the player is that they usually give more mobs and more chances of dropping waystones and more chances of dropping other things. And there is a way of boosting the waystone, some people call it juicing, that will allow you to add things to your zone in order to make them harder, but also to give you better rewards. There are little books, for example, that you can find, that you can add in to that little square interface on the map device, that will, for example, increase the chance of having an abyssal zone. It'll almost guarantee an abyss, but it'll also increase the chance of an abyssal zone that you can pop into and get more fat loot from. Up in the right hand corner you'll see something that says map objectives. It says defeat the Serpent Queen, okay, and then we've got content underneath. One is unique monsters, the second is the checkpoints, the third is I believe that's a Val Waygate, and the fourth one is an Abyssal. This obviously is an expedition. So there'll be digs here. And you'll have the opportunity to lay down explosives and blow it all to smithereens and pick up anything that is excavated. Although the thought of excavating with high explosives, excavating an archaeological site with high explosives does, it's kind of the way that I imagine the Val would approach archaeology. You know, a psychopath's guide to archaeological digs. And of course, here I was working out how to do this. I've subsequently worked out how to do this properly. And I would put one there, and then, because you have a count here, down at the bottom you see a little device with a count with a number on top of it. That is the amount of explosives that you can place down. And basically what you do is, and I hadn't figured this out when I did this video, but what you do is you place one explosive and it creates a line of detonation cord. Then you can put down another explosive at the end of that line, and then at the end of that line, and then at the end of that line. So you've got the whole of the dig site covered in explosives, which hopefully will then, you know, get the stones that you want. So
I'm full up.
I hadn't worked it out properly at this point, but at later dig sites I do work it out. So that's how you do it.
Big flying dog! Wild take hold!
Heavy enough already.
The level of loot has gone up, and the variety of loot as well has gone up. Just in this first half or first third of this particular first map, I can just see that the amount and quality of loot has increased. That's for sure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as a mana sucker, go and die. Thank you. That's very kind of you, sir. So yeah, what I'm going to do with these first maps is I'm not going to be in any hurry to climb up through the map ranks. I'm going to do it when I'm ready. I'm going to do it when I'm comfortable to do so. But I suspect that with the quality and quantity of the drops going up incrementally the way that they are, finding decent gear not only to use but also to sell so I can afford to buy better gear is going to be a little bit easier than perhaps I thought. And here's the Abyssal. There's a whole bunch of greeny boys. Hello, greeny boys. Yeah, I do like me an Abyssal. When I leveled up, I put it into my armor and energy shield, which is where my points are going to go now for the next couple of... Ah, there he is. Hello, Lurky.
The well grows as death plagues. The well opens more. Come to the well. This one burns in the light.
Okay, so that's our first quest. Go and see the Lurky creature. And we will work our way through in this map and a couple other maps. We're going to get little quests like this, and they're going to appear on the map, and we're going to end up working our way to those quest nodes. And most of the time what I'll do is the smaller maps I won't bother recording. The maps with powerful monsters on, I will. And the maps that advance the overall quest line, I will, of course. record, and I will also record things like this is a delirium map, and this is how you do a delirium map. This is how you make the best of a delirium map. This is how you squeeze the most bang for your buck out of a delirium map, and do the same for an abyssal map, do the same for a ritual map, do the same for all of them, and go through the patch notes that I talked about at the beginning. Go through the patch notes and say, right, this is what the patch notes said, and this is how it actually translates into function. Right? This is what it meant, and this is how you do it for real. Because it isn't straightforward, it isn't as accessible as I would like, but it's also not quite as complicated as some people try to make it out to be. Some people try and make out that you need a PhD in gameology in order to be able to play Path of Exile 2 properly. You don't, though perhaps a good degree in gameology wouldn't be too bad. But it's not something that you can't pick up just by doing and having somebody explain the steps. And that's hopefully what I'm gonna do, because I am coming to this whole thing as a total noob myself, and I'm discovering I didn't even know how to do the expedition properly, and I've discovered how to do that. So that's how much of a noob I am. So I'm hoping that we can discover these things together, and by doing, we can then learn stuff that we can. Oh my god, there's pots, yay. Ooh, nothing in the pots. We can then gain we can amass the knowledge required to help us with the next season and the next season after that, you know? And while every season will have unique things about it, the basic gameplay will remain the same. And it certainly, doing this is going to help me for the next, in the next season, because I'll have this knowledge in my head. Hopefully it will stick around for long enough. There's no guarantee. So everything now is pointing me in the direction of the boss zone. I'm being funneled. I'm not the biggest fan of football, but while I'm here, might as well say congratulations to the England World Cup team for their 3-2 victory over Mexico last night. And I know that by the time this video goes out, because I do things slightly out of order, and I'll tell people now why I do that. I need to have a little bit of a well of content that I can put up, because I spend so much time in and out of hospital. I never know when I'm going to be kept in for observations and kept in for extra tests. and maybe have to go in for, you know, an operation or a procedure or something, and that I'm not always able to do a video on the day and put it out on the day. So what I do is I always try and have 5 or 6 videos done with voiceovers and everything ready to go, that if I do get caught and I do end up having to spend unscheduled time in hospital, that my wife can actually put one up. And that's really the only reason. So that I can always have a video ready to
Druid
go,
knows to travel light.
regardless of my personal situation at home. And I hope that's okay with everybody. But that's the only way that I can do it properly. So all of those icons now on the right hand side of the page underneath map objectives have now got green ticks on them. The map is now completed, and we can go home. And we can go and have a word with Doryani and see what he has to say for himself.
A druid knows to travel light.
So now we've moved to the tower
Still the rot finds root.
that we saw coming out of the ground. We've moved there, and we'll discover what the secrets are of this tower.
Twilight twist.
Hope everybody's had a great weekend. As you know, I don't post on a Sunday. Sunday's my day to catch up with everything. Catch up with posts, catch up with emails, catch up with my reading. I read a great deal. And since I started this YouTube channel, I don't seem to have much in the way of time to do as much of reading as I like. And so I set Sunday aside to spend with my puppy, to spend with my wife, and to catch up with everything that I've been too busy to be bothered with during the week. So I post a video Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And that will be my uploading schedule for the foreseeable future. I have no plans to do any live streams just yet, although I am thinking about it for the future. I'm not entirely certain how that's going to work out, and I would like to live stream on YouTube.
I've made peace with what I was and what I am. Blood for blood.
Empty. Ah. So again, on the right hand side of my screen you can see the quests that we have. Legacy of the Precursors, complete the map. Abyssal Power, reach the Well of Souls. Grand Expedition, travel to the ruins of Kingsmarch, and Hilda's hunting, reach Hilda's campsite. All of those things are on the map, and they'll all take a certain amount of travel. Some will go through abyssal territory, some will go through delirium territory, some will go through the big fortress that pops up. But we'll see that in a little minute. I don't think it's this one. I think this is I think this node is in between the first one and the tower itself. Yeah, so at the moment I'm working on my defenses, and I'm working on earning as much currency as I can in order to be able to afford my upgrades for equipment. And I think I mentioned it last time I saw my according to the Endgame Spec that Rax has kindly put together, my endgame weapons are a wand and a focus. Well, I've had a look at the kind of wand that he recommends, and at the moment the kind of wand in the ballpark that he recommends, I saw one the other day for 400 divine. Yeah, and there were others that were either the same or slightly better, up to 1200 divine. You know, so the next time I have 1200 divine or 400 divine or whatever, you know, I'll certainly think about it, but it's gonna take a while. My God, that stuff is, and that's one piece of gear. One piece of gear. I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So And of course, Rax's recommendation is that I change my gear almost completely from armor and energy shield to simply energy shield. And so I completely change the way my defenses work, which is fine. I don't have a problem with it. I love the spec that I'm playing now, and so if he's gone through all of the, if he's crunched all the numbers, which I don't doubt for a single second, then I'll go with the flow and see how it goes. I think it's going to be pretty bloody expensive to change my passive skill tree, because the passive skill tree requires a significant amount of change, and it also requires, I believe, getting another, is it 8 points, I think, in the specialization in the Oracle tree, in the Ascension tree for Oracle. So it requires a bunch of it requires me doing all of them trials as well and getting the points, which is something that I'll probably do in the next couple of videos. I'll probably do those trials then and get the points there. Because one of the perks of that is that you can get the benefit of the prestige nodes without having to travel to them. I don't know how that works, but I'll link the Endgame Spec. I'll start linking the Endgame Spec. I always link the spec that I'm currently playing. It's always there, thanks to Rax. And I'll start, now we're in the maps, I'll start linking the Endgame Spec as well. So if you want to run this, and it's a great spec. You guys have been watching. How many times have I died? Twice. And both of those times had nothing to do with my spec. It was everything to do with a lack of getting good. I think I died to Prince Asmadi once when I had a problem with my staves weren't swapping from one to the other. I was stuck trying to fight him with a level 17 chiming staff, which just wasn't working. So when I figured out the problem and sorted that out, I kicked his ass. And I think the other death I had was... Oh yeah, the Val woman.
Pack's heavy enough already.
I've noticed that higher levels of essences are now dropping regularly, and higher levels of various orbs and stuff are also dropping, not quite as regularly, but they will drop more regularly as we go up through the maps. I'm also getting T3 and T4 items. Right. Hello. Mr. Skropnioid. Oh god, I hate these guys. There you go. Easy. Or not.
I'm full up.
This tower is indeed precursor. We should activate it and study the results. I'm making a judgment call.
Yeah. Do it! Do it! Mita Vitua.
This is beyond my wildest expectations.
If you'd expected this, I'd have said you were balmy. I suppose now you'd have me investigate this fortress with no thought to my safety.
We're taking enormous risks, yes, but calculated ones. It is, as the Galgurans might say, my style. Just imagine the knowledge that fortress contains.
Your lack of caution's carried us this far. Suppose I'd be a fool to question it now.
Find your way over there as soon as you can. Make haste.
Yeah, that's the spirit, Scottish Druid. Alright, we'll head on over there in a sec. Make sure we've completed this. We have. No, we haven't. I think there's a Val thing needing to be Yeah, there's a Val machine to be uncovered.
A druid knows to travel light. Blood for blood.
And there it is. Not much in it, mind.
These walls stand strong. Long after the builder continues dust. Take the thrust! You disrupt the natural order!
So we're slowly working our way now to the gate.
Bloodbath fiends!
It says legacy of the precursors travel to the ancient causeway. So what I'm going to do is all of these, or certainly most of the closer ones, Hilda's Hunt, the temple for the, I believe it's for the breaches, and the delirium one, and for this one, and for the abyssals. I'll work my way off camera for as many of those as possible, and then I'll record opening up the zones, like the temple, like the Well of Souls, like Hilda's Hunt, and complete those quests. On screen. And I do get myself, I know this is kind of letting the cat out of the bag a little bit, but in a map or two, I get myself a new stick. And it is sticktacular. Absolutely sticktacular.
Ancient light!
And I love how this spec allows you, even without my new staff, right? The
Cannot
spec
carry
allows
anymore.
you to go through a zone like this from start to finish. Just moving from pack of mob to pack of mob to pack of mob to pack of mob and then to the boss. Without having to worry about mana or anything. Just move and kill, move and kill, move and kill, move and kill. And with the extra points that I'm putting into my armor and energy shield, the there's a certain amount of confidence that you get knowing that you can stand in the middle of a pack of trash and be okay, at least until you detonate your first AoE bomb. Like that. Boom. AoE bomb. Gone.
Cannot carry anymore.
I think all that's left now is to defeat Piraha, the Forgotten Prisoner. And then I think the next one we'll do is travel to the ancient causeway. We'll open that. Oh, this is, yeah. I don't like these. I have a certain amount of difficulty with these ones. I don't know what it is. Bloody hell, that was close. My God. Well, that lasted longer than it should have. Well, let's get out of here.
A druid knows to travel light.
Yeah, go on, Scottish Druid. Get on with it.
What mad fiends? Wild take hold! Nature takes what's old!
You'll notice with all the casting that I'm doing, it's making almost no impression on my mana bottle at all. My rotation is lightning storm, entangle, entangle, and then the chaos debuff dot. And if they're not dead by then, they get slapped with the big plants. And then I rinse and repeat that. as a rotation song.
We'll hardly leave this untouched, can we? That'll do nicely.
We've got another abyssal here.
Shape and filth.
Excuse me, do you mind? I'm loot goblining. No bloody respect, that's what I'll tell you.
I'm full up.
Wild take hold.
There's a remarkable variety of areas, of biomes, of mobs, of mechanics, of there's abysses and deliriums and all sorts of things to contend with, and that change the flavor of the biome. So a biome that has like a town biome that's got an abyss in it is going to feel completely different to the same biome that's got a delirium in a delirium mirror. I think they've done a remarkable job making the endgame feel like the endgame progression feel interesting and different and worth going through. Because some people are like, I watched a video yesterday which basically asked the question, is there too much grind in the end game for casual players? Well, first of all, you have to define what a casual player is. I would class myself as a casual player. I know that I'm doing a series on it, but I get to play between 2 and 3 hours a day. The rest of that time is either doing voiceovers or editing or mastering or rendering. And so I get to play 2 or 3 hours a day. Does that make me a casual player or somebody who isn't a casual player? So, I think I'm a casual player. And I find it interesting. I find all of this endgame stuff interesting. I find the story interesting. I find the narrative interesting. I find the progression interesting. I find discovering all of these new things, because most of these new things are new to me.
A druid knows to travel light.
Drums and stare ye!
You there! I would speak with you.
Hello.
Your face I recognize. Let's hope she's an old friend.
So this, I believe, will introduce us to the breach mechanic.
End of the line!
And will end up giving us a quest to go and find our way to their temple.
Nature doesn't forget.
Well, you appear quite capable. I seek your aid. The very world is at stake.
No shit,
What is
Sherlock.
it you need?
Before us is the grasping hand of our enemy. We call them the Hiveborn. They are creatures from another world, intent on invading Rayclast. They operate under one mind, and they mean our doom.
Just what we need.
Otherworldly creatures? How am I to deal with that?
Unfortunately, we must open their breaches to be able to drive them back. But it must be done. Step forth and open the breach. Be ready to fight.
Okay, then. Yeah, so the purple ones are breaches. The green ones are abysses. The white ones are deliriums.
Yes! Drive them back!
You notice the bar across the bottom will tell you your progress in your breach. You see that circle on the ground that expands. So that was the breach.
A druid knows to travel light.
You did well. With training, you could be a worthy keeper.
Well, thank you.
I am Aelith, founder of the Keepers of the Flame. We are all that stands in the way of the Hiveborn consuming our world. The enemy left these behind. They are critical to our mission, and will help us in the war ahead. Collect all that you find. But first, on behalf of the Keepers of the Flame, I invite you to our monastery. There, I can reveal more about our cause, and how we can aid each other.
A monastery, you say? Well, who am I to turn down a lass in distress?
You won't regret it. See you there.
Bye. Bye-bye, lass in distress. Right, so we've now got, because we've done the boss, we now have, I think, 1 or 2 yellow mobs and a couple of checkpoints to open up, and then we'll be done with this. So this is our breach. So we've done an abyss, we've done a breach.
That's heavy enough already.
All on the way to the causeway, and then we'll do the causeway and we'll call it a day. And there's lots of higher tier stuff dropping as well, I've noticed. Now, because there's no need to do what I'm doing now. Once you get to this point, I could really just like port out and get my next map. There's no need necessarily to be a total completionist like
I'm
me.
full up.
I do these things because I'm anal about finishing things off.
our stead.
So that's it. Everything's done now. 7 elements in the map content. And 7 elements down with the text done. Okay. So now we'll get out of here. And we've made our way to the ancient gateway. This is the quest node that Doryani gave us.
Bottom of these towers, or the top, as it were. Could be this lever will let us through.
I know the Vol came many thousands of years after these guys, but there are certain similarities by the looks of things. Architecturally, technologically, an obsession with robots. Seems like most of the party is down this area. It's where the party people of the interwebs hang out. So in the next episode, I think what I'll do is I'll do Hilda's campsite and fight our way through that. I'll do the temple for that lady who wanted us to do the breaches, and we'll probably have to fight through that. And then I'll do a delirium, so you can see what a delirium is, and how that mechanic works. And I'll explain what's going on because there were some changes and stuff to the delirium, and in the patch notes from 0.5.1. So we'll go through those. So yeah, we'll do a breach, we'll do a delirium, we'll do Hilda's campsite, and we'll do the temple. And that should be about an hour and a half. And then in the next one, we'll get to the next stage of the main quest for Doryani, and we'll get to the Well of Souls. We'll go and see our little mate, the lurking creature. little head for good luck.
Aye, that's the lot.
The energy here is immense.
Have you any light to shed on this mural?
It depicts the fortress under siege. But what force could possibly threaten a bastion such as this? Now, we must investigate further. Remain calm.
What are you up to?
Bit of warning when they go, miss.
Freedom at last.
What manner of beast are you?
An abyssal.
What fresh hell be this?
Light of this world.
That's on you, Doryani.
Another danger loosed upon the world, and by our hand, no less.
Oh, it was him.
We have no choice but to press on. But let us do so with extreme caution.
Yeah. That was on you, mate. Right, I think we're gonna get back to town. And, we'll offload our stuff. Ancient gateway. Map completed. Oh, we've opened the door.
The gate is open, and it seems the ley lines within the fortress are even more powerful than the ones outside.
Wow. Okay.
I will calibrate the way gate to these resonances. Perhaps we can use this new power to our advantage.
Okay then.
There's an unnatural sort of flame in the distance. Is that another consequence of our actions?
That flame, that tower, they must be what this mural depicts. I have a bad feeling about this.
So do I.
You must reach that monolith as soon as possible. I doubt whatever is about to happen will be good for us.
We'll have to discover it next time round, people. Thank you ever so much for hanging out with me. This has been great. I've had a blast doing these. And we'll do some more next time. Thanks ever so much. Take care.